Yeah.
Can you name any one of those 5 traits I just went through that doesn't require authority?
That doesn't require authority. I would say I feel like leadership doesn't require authority. You can be a leader without demanding
Shout out to her
something.
though. I still like
If you
Yo, welcome back to another show of the Other Guys Podcast. We are your hosts, AD.
Eshot.
Spoon.
Big Spoon. All right. So for those of you guys who are new here to our show, what we do is we're just a bunch of guys, right? We sit around, have guy talk, locker room talk, and we come up with these questions. We take the questions. We go to downtown Dallas, Deep Ellum. We're all over the city. And we present these questions, these observations that we've made to young men, young women, somewhere in the streets. They're usually between the ages of 20-something, 30-something, whatever. And we take our observations, we ask the questions, and we try to see... I don't know what the hell the outcome is, but we're observing human nature. We're asking one thing, and then we're figuring out, do people see the world, see the dating and interacting the same way that we do. So today's question, or Lord, let me get this one right. Do modern women reject authority, right? Or do modern women reject the men that they actually say that they want?
Right.
All right, I got that right. All right, let's jump into the video.
Do you want to be married one day?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what's your goal in dating?
To find someone that I can build with, who can uplift me as much as I'm uplifting them, and someone that I don't have to be the sole provider for, someone who can communicate with me.
So, do you want to be married one day?
yes, I do.
Okay. And what's the overall goal for dating right now?
The overall goal is just to see who's for me and who's not. I feel like as women, when we are excited about somebody, we kind of ignore a lot of the things that we should have seen from the beginning. And now I'm just paying more close attention to who really wants to be with me and who just wants to deal with me for the meantime. So that's where I'm at.
So it sounds like you're dating with a purpose now.
Yes, I'm dating with a purpose. And if you're on the purpose that I'm on, then we're not going to be on it.
Is the purpose right now marriage?
The purpose is marriage, but I don't want to think too far ahead. The purpose is marriage.
Okay.
Of course, but the real purpose is just to find somebody that's genuine. And then when we have that genuine bond, it'll go from that until thinking into marriage and thinking about kids or whatever else comes up with the relationship. But my goal is just to find somebody genuine, because it's hard to find genuine people.
So, do you want to be married one day?
Yes.
Okay.
So
What's your goal in dating
I
right
like
now?
this guy, bro.
Ooh, right now, understanding. That's the goal, I think, because life is happening left and right every day. You never know. So I think I need to find some solid understanding. Yeah.
That's good. So, understanding of a person in particular, or just women in general, relationships?
Yeah, just women in general in relationships, because I know females already have, women already have like this persona and ideal of already the man that they want, but the man that they want necessarily comes like with different things, to have those things, you know what I'm saying? So, you want the man with the money and everything. All right, let me go to work. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to run through 5 traits. Let me know if these traits are attractive in a man or not. Okay, so the first trait is going to be a leader. It's a man got a 5-year plan. It's attractive?
Yeah.
What about being a good provider?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. Questions now. Okay. What about being a good protector?
Yes.
Okay. What about a man being decisive, being able to make decisions?
It depends on what are you indecisive about. So if you're indecisive about us, then yes, that'll be a problem. And I don't think that's a good trait. But if you're indecisive about a business plan or something to do with like any other extracurricular things, then I don't think anything is wrong with that, because everybody's indecisive every once in a while. So.
Gotcha. But if you think would it make a man more attractive if he was decisive? He got this business idea. He's going to do it.
It would, because that way, if you're the type of person that knows how to have a plan and stick to it, I will grasp onto that. So if I have a plan, I'm not gonna have any choice but to stick to it too, because I've seen that from you, and I want you to know that I can do that as well. Like I can do that if you show me how to do that. So
that actually goes into the next thing, which is being disciplined, and also being like kind of like a disciplinarian too. It's like, hey, you got this. Do you do music or is it poetry?
I'm an artist, period. I do photography, music, everything.
So if he was driving, hey, it's this convention you should go to. You got to get up, let's go, and you're hitting the gym, hitting the goals, being like disciplinarian for himself and for you. Is that attractive?
It's very attractive because that's actually what I want. I want a guy that knows when it's time to work out, knows when work is work, knows when family is family. That way that we can just all keep the same balance. And if you lead and you show me that, then I have no choice but to follow that. Yeah. Or you're not gonna want to be with me.
A man is a leader. That attractive.
Yes.
A man that is a provider. Is that attractive? A man that is a good protector. A man that's a good decision maker. And a man that is good with discipline for himself and yourself is attractive.
Yeah.
You think and women find that attractive?
Oh, 100%. Got to. Unless, I'm saying I'm future and I don't have to do none of those things.
I got enough status to it. And where all those things weigh out.
About nothing. I can just juice up wherever I want to go.
Basically,
Okay, so I'm trying to keep track of the questions. The questions I got were: do you want to be married one day? Right. What's your goal in dating right now? And you know what I want to say? Shout out to the not the first one, the darker skinned young lady, because she's probably. Like if you're out in the street and you walk by 100 women, like there's maybe 5 of her. You know what I'm saying? She's on a different what's the name? So shout out to her. What's your goal in dating right now? That most women are probably not as intentional as she says she is. And then do you find these 5 traits attractive in men? Leader, someone who's a provider, protector, decisive, and disciplined.
Bro.
So based on these
disciplinarian, so not only for him but for you as well.
Okay, got it. So he's disciplined for himself, but also disciplining when it comes to you and keeping you in line. So what based on the answers, what have we learned?
Like you said, I think the young lady was an anomaly, and I think a lot of people default. A lot of women will default to I want to get married. They want like it to happen in their favor, of course, right? The same way I want to get some head today. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a dub thing.
That's the shit I'm talking about right there, bro. That's the shit I'm talking about. Just to say, like it'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it just happened. But I also prefer for it to happen a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm open to some things, but I prefer for it to go in, from the particular lady I want and everything like that. So this idea that all women know what they want is baloney. Because I bet if you go and ask them, like, okay, so what if the perfect man you just described walked in right now and said yada yada yada, they'd be like, nah, I need some time to think about it and make it feel good for me, and it needs to happen in the romantic way I seen it in this movie the other week. And so
they just be on Disney films. You're right.
They do.
Disney films, man.
It's like that. It's a big idea. So the good thing about the way the questions are asked is that it doesn't let them know where it's going. So they just can answer. So there's no politics with it. They're just answering the easy questions, small pieces. There are no huge overarching ideas. Do you want a man that's a leader? Like, yes. I think the biggest thing that people miss are implications of what they're saying, because marketing is everywhere, right? People buy Apple because it is they look at it. It's not only a good quality, but it's also a story that has been told about it. It means something. I've been asked so many times, why don't you have an iPhone?
Like it's the expectation.
Like I should. Like your car is nice enough. Your wallet, your watch looks okay. You own the business. What?
I'm sure you could get one. I'm sure you qualify.
Yeah,
You know they got some programs out. Some first time buyer programs.
Yeah, some. What do they call it? The they have affirmative action. Yeah.
They're just giving out all the blackies one. Come on, man.
But it's like, so whenever you start getting into ideas is when you get the problems. Whenever you actually go and you take it in bite-sized pieces, it's much easier to get to the truth.
So I meant to ask this. So you came up with this particular question, or this was an idea you already had. Usually I help come up with them and then you shape them. But like, how did you even come to this? What made you want to ask the question in the first place?
Well, it seems that women, the vast majority of women, I'm talking about over 95%, they want the same kind of traits. And if you don't display these, then it is a negative to women. If you're not a leader, it's a problem for the vast majority of women. But the majority of women won't say, oh, he can't lead, which it's whatever though.
As when you say problem, you mean as far as dealing with a man long term.
Yeah, dealing with a man long term.
Okay.
And even medium term, for the most part. If you're not a leader, then it's a downside, right? And if you are not a protector, then it's a downside. If you are not disciplined, if you can't make decisions. Like when I was younger and I would ask, like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? My lady, years later, she was like, oh, no, not even then. It was while it was happening. She's like, why are you always asking me?
You always want my motherfucking input.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, dang, my bad. I guess I'm just supposed to know the answer, Yeah, well, the answer is yes. You're supposed to be able to make decisions.
This nigga in the surveys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a problem. Like, oh, if they can't make decisions, I've never seen it where a lady is like, hey, hey, what do you want to do, honey? And he doesn't know, and she's like, oh, that's so cute. Yeah, it can happen coming from our side. You're like, don't worry, baby. It'll be a surprise. The ladies are like, hey, what we gonna do with our future? Baby, it'll be a surprise.
No. So I remember when I went through our premarital class, there was this one couple, right, where like I guess we had to answer a question like, what's the pet peeve of whatever. And I remember this one lady shared. She was like, every morning before he goes to work, he asks, hey babe, should I wear this shirt with these pants or this? Like, what should I wear today? And she was like, I hate it so much. And I didn't understand women's nature at the time. And so I was like, I get it can be annoying, but why do you hate it so much? It's him displaying indecisiveness.
Weakness.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have one of these traits, you can take it back to some sort of weakness. Every single one. You're not a leader, or are you afraid to step up? Right? You're not good with decisions. Are you afraid you're gonna make the wrong one? What are you afraid of? Right? You can't protect her. Why not? You should be able to. You're a man, right? Are you afraid to? Every single one of these things is some type of weakness, and ladies don't like weakness. So if you have these traits. Okay, there's other ones in there, of course, if you're a moral person and other things, but these go for, it's like Kevin Samuel's idea of like a high value man, right? It goes to every single culture. It's the same around the entire world for all time. Men need to have this no matter what country they're in, no matter what.
Universally, women want these things.
And this is the basic framework. This is the foundation of a man.
Look, last time I told this one chick I had this problem. I told her that I didn't know. Like, she just happened to call me while I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Shared this with me,
yeah.
Boy, real quick.
So I'm like venting for like 2 minutes because I'm just not quite sure. I'm kind of like putting it together in my head.
Like, you hadn't even thought about it.
And she literally said the question of like, so what you gonna do? And I was like, I don't know. I mean something, but I gotta figure it out. So I'm just not sure right now. Just I need to figure it out. She did not like that. I could just tell that it was just a different energy. I could tell before she just knew that I knew what to do at all times. Like, this nigga just has no plan. He's about to just crash and burn.
And the interesting thing is, like, they show disgust. It's not even disappointment. It's not like, oh, you don't know.
Now, in her defense, not to go too far into your business, it was about your living situation.
Right. It was about an apartment. I'm trying to find an apartment, right? And it's
so
hard
it could have been like, this nigga finna be homeless.
This nigga finna try to stay on my couch, right? And that's what I'm trying not to even like hit it. Like, that's not even in the possibility realm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like trying to find an apartment like through self-employment and stuff. So people asking for a lot of extra documentation. I'm having to do a lot of things for the first time, and so I'm like, I'm just not quite sure. I'm still waiting to hear back from so and so. So she was just like, oh. I just got a bum ass homeless. Like,
let me cut this short now before he actually sleep on my couch.
One word probably went through her head. Weak. Like, just weak.
You don't know what he's gonna do.
That's right.
And so all it took was like 5 minutes of just being unsure. I mean, everything worked out like 2 days later, but it just took that little moment of decipherment. I could just tell it just like changed.
Did you feel like you ever recovered from it?
I mean, maybe in hindsight, but put it this way, I think it also went into her mind of like, she got to maybe over processing some things and just overthinking about just a lot of stuff. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because she just also just was. You'll hear it a lot, man. With a lot of modern women, it's just like, I'm just overwhelmed. Just too much going on. I just need to think about myself right now. I just need to get back to
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? But they just go back to work and just kind of blocking the world out.
Ignoring.
That's you just kind of got to let them go down that little.
Yeah. What I say is like women are an island and men are like ships. Okay, and women never like the island that they're on. They get to the island.
This guy has so many analogies.
Man,
he don't ever run out.
I kind of like this one. Keep going.
So women come. So they're born on the island. They're like, this is cool. I'm old enough. Time for me to get off this island. And they go to another island. Whatever. The nicer it is, the longer they'll stay. But they're never happy there 100%.
Because they know that there's a better island, maybe a bigger, nicer ship.
Yeah,
to get you to this island.
Well, men are the ships. So now men are coming through, and you got little tugboats.
So to get from one island to the next, she needs a man. That's essentially what you're saying. Okay.
Because going there herself is swimming is really hard. So it's so much easier to have somebody pick you up on the ship and take you.
She can build her own boat. That's what they're doing nowadays. It's like,
We got a few leaks in it.
Yeah, but when
you got women over here just on the island.
But when they find the dude that looks like, oh man, he'll take me to an amazing island. Like this ship, like this, it's a huge battleship. And I'll get on that one, and while we're going to the next island, he'll be able to protect me. I'll be safe. This thing is not going down. The heavy winds, the insane hurricanes can hit. This ship won't sink. I'm going with this one. But as soon as you show weakness, that she can see holes in the hull, you're taking on a little water.
She's like, the compass look like it's broke. You don't know where you're going.
Yeah, she's like, well, you know what? It's an island right there. I'm going to get off. Right? Or she's like, I'm going back to my island. Take me back over here to where I know.
That makes sense.
So I tell this, the first time I told this analogy, because somebody was talking about social media, I was like, well, in today's world, women are standing on this island. And the more attractive they are, the more ships that are just sitting right. Some are sitting at the dock,
right? And just get on my
just
boat.
Steady jumping in them DMs every day, just like, bam, we're here. We got a seat open.
That's right. And so, if you would you get on the boat that looked like it was taking on water?
No.
And that's what it is with women. And they're like, if you're building a boat and you're talking about your potential, and there's like that boat looked like it could potentially be big. Are you gonna wait for that boat? Or are you gonna get on one that's ready?
Yeah,
that's how women. Yeah, and that's how they see the world.
That is a great analogy.
Yeah, and I think a lot of women just want to like add curtains to your boat. Like they don't want to like like curtains to the boat.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They want to decorate your boat a little bit.
They don't want to be responsible for setting the destination.
Right. They don't want any structural like issues to be going on. They just like, hey, I'll add like some candles or something to this motherfucker.
She gets on.
That's a support role.
Yeah, support.
Yeah,
she gets on the boat, and you're at the helm, and she goes, "Hey, where are we going?" And you say, I don't know.
This is like off.
This big ass boat for no damn reason.
Right. You're finna get lost at sea.
Yeah, I'm out. This don't make no sense.
That's a good one. I like that.
And that's how it works.
Wait, okay. So just to change your analogy a little bit, now they'll stay long enough if it's a big enough boat, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like exactly. Like if a young lady walks into Will Smith or whatever, and he's like, "Look, we're gonna have some fun. I don't know what's gonna happen." Most women will ride Will Smith's boat for as long as possible. Hey, just take me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, but if it's a young lady who is like the one we were sitting with, like I'm looking for marriage, that's the intended outcome, then yes, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, it's like wants to get on land somewhere.
So, but both you got the battleships, but then don't forget you also have like big cargo ships, and those are boring, but they're so stable. They'll get you where you want to go. They're slower. Then you look over here, and somebody got a yacht.
They party.
You got a pool on
a speedboat.
Yeah, they telling you, hey, we might not park this.
Them the thugs, speedboats, thugs. Yeah. They don't ride. They ain't wear their seatbelts either. Nope.
Hey,
you might fly off this bitch.
Basically,
I'm picking up some old bitches.
That's how it is, man. That's how it is. So the bigger the boat, the bigger the boat.
That's funny.
It's always a new analogy.
Yeah,
it can take on more water, so they'll stay, right? So, but that's how they see it. And so, as long as your hull is good, if your ship does look nice, if you're more looking like a yacht than you are, or a cruise ship, you can be a cruise ship. But if you looking like a cargo ship or a tugboat, then you got problems, right? But let's jump into more.
Let's do it.
I like
he
that.
Said, you might fly off this.
I'm going deep with that one. I'm gonna come up with some more shit.
I'm gonna use that. Yeah.
Can you name any one of those 5 traits I just went through that doesn't require authority?
that doesn't require authority. I would say, I feel like leadership doesn't require authority. You can be a leader without demanding
Shout out to
something.
her though. I still like her.
If you have the aura of a leader, people will naturally follow. I feel like I'm a leader in my own way, and I don't have to be like, follow me for people to follow me. I'm just going to be me.
She's saying like
I'm gonna see how I
authoritative. I
move.
get you don't have to be
Yeah,
authoritative to be a leader, but
Wouldn't that be more like a trailblazer or just setting a good example versus a leader?
Yeah, but a leader could be somebody that's setting a good example. And a leader doesn't have to be mean, aggressive, unapproachable. That's not a leader.
That's
leader
the
is somebody that
authoritative
people can come and ask for advice, and you give them advice. You can have those authority times, but you don't have to come off as an aggressive person to be a leader.
Not saying they have to be like aggressive. It would be like having a good manager at work.
Yeah.
That knows how to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know when to manage her, and you know when to calm it down.
That don't require authority. I think
if any.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. The provider one. So I actually know someone, one of my good friends. He's a stay-at-home dad. He doesn't, bring in the bread. That's the focus on the whole provider aspect is the money aspect. Right. So, but he doesn't bring home the bread, but he does. He still is a provider because he still, handles the home. You know what I'm saying, in his fullest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wife goes do what she needs to do, but she comes back. And he's still that man of the house. And it's no question, if, ands, or buts about it.
That's unique.
It blew my fucking mind. But I do think that aspect of whole money provides authority I don't think it should provide authority of telling somebody this is what you should do because I got the money. I don't think that should be a thing. I think it should be.
Let me ask you this: why should your kids listen to you then?
Oh, they should listen to me because first off, you came from me.
First off,
my kids, I ain't got none. But if my kids, they should listen to me because I'm not gonna steer you wrong. I'm whatever I'm telling you is for the betterment of you. So, but if you don't, we're gonna have some issues, and with those issues come certain consequences.
Right. And would you say that they get to have more freedom once they're in their own house?
I feel like them getting out of the house is a certain freedom that will be definitely earned. I don't believe I'm gonna be one of those parents that be like 17, 18, you got to go. You got to get the hell up out of here. I think I'm gonna just be like, hey, you straight? Can you? The goal in life is to be able to sustain your damn life or grow. You know what I'm saying? So literally, can you handle yourself out here?
Right.
Yeah. I got you. Go ahead.
And let me ask you this one. So do you think if parents don't financially provide for kids, that they should have less say in the kid's life?
I think the parent is definitely the system, they put it in the ways of like the parent is still gonna be the parent regardless if they're doing good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Until like it's just noticeable, you know what I'm saying, or like the child's life is in danger or something, that's when it's only like noticeable. But definitely it needs to be man, that's tough.
Perfect. And can a man be a good husband or a good spouse without having one of those things?
He can, because I feel like as humans we're not created perfect, so I feel like you're not going to be 100% in every area, but if you're able to find a partner that can help you grow and build in those areas, then y'all will work that out together.
Gotcha. And so he can be, you talked about it before, so he has to have some type of skill in each area though, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to be perfect, but he has to be able to, he at least got to be average.
Right. You got to be average.
At least average in those things. Cool. So if a man doesn't have one of those 5 traits, do you think a woman would still consider him a good man? If he couldn't lead, if he couldn't make decisions, if he was undisciplined, if he was not a good protector, can he be missing one of those? So don't have to be perfect in everything, but if he was completely missing one of those, could he still be a good man?
So I'm gonna put it this way. It doesn't necessarily it shouldn't make him unattractive, but missing one of those key aspects in life and having one of those moments like pop up. Let's say you had to like provide some security for your woman and you couldn't. Niggas lose every day.
That's a good point.
You couldn't, you know, that conversation back home. Hey, babe, I tried.
What the ass?
So I'm going to the gym.
So like that's the thing. So like that, it don't necessarily make them unattractive. It just deletes certain aspects. Like it just removes them from certain categories.
Okay. Well then here's
it just knocks them down a couple tiers.
Okay. So it will be less valuable to women without that.
100%.
Got it.
Okay, so there was a question there. So I think there was just one question. It was which of those 5 things: leadership, providing, protector, decisiveness, discipline. Which of those 5 things does not require authority? Right.
Right.
And now that I know why you asked the question the way you did, but I think a better way of asking it would have been which of those 5 does not require submission on the woman's part. Right. Like if he's a good decision, what does it matter if I'm a good decision maker if you're not gonna let me make the decision anyway?
You have to be led, provided for, protected, decisions made.
Right, and you have to be okay with me making that decision or providing for you. Right?
Yeah, to get those benefits, you have to give someone authority. Means you have to be in submission. Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, the reason I ask it like that is if you the second you say submit or submission, then the alarms go off. But which one of those doesn't require authority? They think about it, and sometimes they say providing, and you're like, well, follow with the kids. I've asked somebody that before, and they're like, well, yeah, because they're my kids. I raised them, and I'm paying the bills around here. I'm like, isn't that providing? They're like, yeah, okay. So. And that is one of the reasons why you should. And I think, if you are not providing for your kid, if like you just not, it's not you're doing it to the best of your ability. You just not.
That's when CPS comes in.
Right.
Yeah,
That's when they tell you.
you shouldn't. I mean, your kid gonna have problems if you're not providing. So should you?
And back to the young lady's answer about leader, right? Being a leader, leadership, that's the most obvious one. It's like, what does it matter how great of a leader I am if you choose not to follow?
It's about definition there. So the one thing about today, we've gotten away from words actually have meanings, definitions. This means
so
that
flexible,
yeah. And so words have meanings; they have definitions. So this person is a leader, all right, and that's why she said, trailblazing, maybe just setting a good example, but those are not leaders. Even if you follow these people around, that doesn't mean that they're a leader. The race cars going around the track, they follow the leader. They're following somebody, but that doesn't mean that this person is actually leading them. So you can follow people who are not leading you. Yeah, I think all of us do that to some extent, right? Somebody write a book. I'm following this stuff, but he's not leading me. And but a leader is different. And so it's about definition. So she went loose with the definition, but
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but it is what they want. So you have to be in submission to have a leader.
So, quick question: Can we break those 5 down, or the answer with that? But I don't. If you're already going to do that in the video, then I don't want to do that. But let's just say if I say, hey, well, why does what was the one? Providing, not providing. What's another one?
Protection.
Protection. Yeah. So
the perfect one. So can you?
You've activated my trap card.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because if anyone tells me that, because I've talked to ladies and they have said that, and my response is real simple. Let's say you got a 15-year-old and you're in charge of that person. You're in charge of protecting that person. How well can you protect that person if you cannot say the word no?
Not very well.
You cannot. The president, you can't. If the Secret Service cannot tell the president no, then they couldn't protect him. You have to be able to say no to protect someone. Other than that, you're more like a meat shield. You just take the first bullet. Maybe.
I don't know why when he said that, the first scenario that popped up in my head of a woman that doesn't want to be protected is I imagine somebody saying something at the bar, or it's a little situation arises and like immediately like your woman goes up and like slaps somebody or like carries out, and it's like, bitch, like,
Bruh. Like, did you not
allow
know
me?
this?
I could have handled this. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
you're like, bro, did you not notice that guy is wearing the same jacket that those 50 guys are?
Right. I knew how to diffuse the situation to get us out of here in one piece. But now you finna get our ass whooped.
Yeah.
You can't be protected.
Bro, so there was a situation, right? It was me and a colleague in an office, and words were being exchanged, and this guy was like former, like in prison, like tattoos everywhere, and like he just so happened to be reformed and give his life over to God, but like he's still that guy, right? And so it's me, him, and my wife, and are in a room, and he's walking away, or we're in a whatever. I'm like, okay. He's not that much bigger than me. If we gotta fight, it is. I don't want to, but it is what it is. And so eventually, like, I'm still talking, and it all starts because he's like, "Hey, you come here," and I'm like, "I'm not a fucking dog. Like, who do you think you're talking?" So that's what the situation was. I'm talking my shit. It calms down, right?
Yeah.
He's walking out the room. This is over. And then her dumb ass says, like, "Yeah, that's right." And I'm like, bitch, if you don't shut up, I just so yeah. And you're right. In that situation, it's like, to protect us, you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right? Because if something goes down, I'm responsible for handling, not you.
I read a Reddit story, and it was a couple, and the lady wanted to go somewhere. Her man said, "No, don't. It's dangerous. Don't go." And then she was like, "Screw you. I'm a strong, independent woman. I can do what I want to do. I can go where I want to go." And she went.
Wonder what race that was.
Yeah, and so she went, and unfortunately, she ended up getting assaulted, like all the way. And then, like, yeah, so yeah, like
10 out of 10 assault.
And so, and then she came back to him, and his thing.
Terrible.
And she was like,
You laughed at that.
well, it was the gesture you laughed at. Okay, it was my Superman, right?
Yeah.
So, but and then when he came back, and he was very upset because he said no, he wanted to protect her, and she didn't allow that. Yeah. But then, and now this was her writing the story saying, he hasn't touched me in this long, and I don't think this is gonna work. I think he's gonna leave me because. Well, he was trying to protect you. You put yourself out there, and now this thing happened, which is horrible. But and he feels betrayal. Because he's like, I was there. I told you.
He
what
probably
not to do.
also feels bad because it's like, that's my responsibility to keep you protected,
and I can't. So I can't even do my job, and it's emasculating, and it feels pointless. And
She
then
won't need somebody that's gonna like chain her to a fence or something, like, cause she.
It's I'm gonna say some shit that you would say. It's almost as if we might even cut this one out. It's almost as if he should have beat her to keep her from going. Man, doesn't it kind of make sense just a little bit?
Get beat at home, not in the streets.
Hey, yeah, we might have to bleep that one out. All right.
Cut that out.
Okay, so that was protector, right? So let's go to decisive. Why does a man need authority in order to be decisive?
all right, okay. So let's do that. That one's an easy one as well. Okay. Give me $500.
No.
Why the hell not? I just made a decision on our advertising plan for the podcast. Well, now I have to talk to you. I can't be decisive. We got to go by committee.
Consensus.
So I can't be decisive. I can't make decisions. I don't have the power to make decisions.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay. So then the last one is disciplined or discipline.
Being a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
That one's like the easiest one because even if you look at the examples, there's no one that's not in a position of authority that can that has the ability to discipline you. Children can't discipline you.
That's a good point.
You know,
they're not the authority in the house. Okay, that makes complete sense.
Right, only authority. So your a judge, because they have authority. Your teachers can send you to detention. But say if you do something wrong at work, right, and then an employee at the same level as you come up and start talking about you shouldn't do that. You know what? You should put that back and go sit down over here and think about what you did.
You don't sign my checks. Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
You don't sign my checks. What don't you have?
Authority.
Man.
Yeah.
This reminds me of the time I seen a man struggling with all of these. He was throwing his best hat out there, but he just wasn't being allowed any of these privileges. We're at Line and Taco Bell. This was quite some time ago. It was a different person then. And so are my friends.
Hey, people I was with, the disclaimers. Just go straight to it. You from the country. We know what you do out there.
I mean, we put up at the Taco Bell with smoke coming out there. It was a wild time, right? And so This is an unruly group of Negroes I'm with. We drunk, it's the middle of the night, like everybody ready to whoop some ass. That's what it come down to for no reason.
Yeah.
The car behind me bumps us, right?
Okay.
That's not good.
It's not good, right? So I get out and check it. Maybe I hopped out a little aggressive, right? But the guy,
skinniest nigga in the car, hopped out aggressive.
and I was the skinniest nigga in the car. And there was a guy and his girlfriend, right? The guy hops out the driver's seat. He's like, "Oh man, my bad, bro. Whoop de whoop." I was like, "Yeah, it doesn't even look like anything wrong. I'm just checking it out." So I'm like looking, and doesn't even look like nothing happened. It's like, cool, bro. Like we literally like approaching the DAP, right? Like, hey, ain't no big deal. Chick gets out the car and was like, "Nothing's even fucking wrong. Like, what is it?" And he's like, "Go." He's like, "No, calm." He's like, "No, it's good. I got it. We working it out." She's like, "No, fuck that." Nah. So now the guys in my car like seeing some sort of roll down. Hey, what's going on? And so now it's like everybody hopping out the cars and everybody now people throwing clothes and stuff in the like.
This is what Dave Chappelle said. This is a nigga moment.
It was about to be a real nigga moment. Like, and I'm telling, like I've grabbed this dude like by the shirt and I was like, "Get your bitch before she get y'all beat up." Like I had to like be real vulgar with it. Like, get her because for no reason, I just seen it happen. I just seen everybody about to lose their mind out here in the parking lot of Taco Bell over nothing.
Yeah,
and I was
nothing
like,
at all.
Get her and go because you could have handled the situation.
Yeah, we was done. We was good. Congratulations, sir.
And she just was like, he can't handle this. I got to get out and do it myself. And
been in
the
that
whole thing up.
Been in that situation with my lady. Same thing. And
hold on, 1 second. Did it escalate or was that it? Did you shook him? You said you should go. Did he leave?
Yes, he literally like went and like forced her in the car, and I started grouping.
He made the decision for him, like do this, leave. Okay, all right.
And I'll point out something else. He wasn't able to protect his girl because he wasn't being decisive. He couldn't make a decision. Get your ass in the car. We finna go. Do you see how many people out here? You might have a protective suit of armor where they not gonna jump on you.
They gonna beat my ass. They did not care about this guy.
Women don't understand that they literally have the force protecting them because they're women. But the dude, they're just like, I'm mad at her.
They're gonna take their aggression for her out on him. Like
when I was 15, I was at a party. It was like it's like this school thing. The girlfriend invited me to, so we're at their school party, and it was. It's just I don't know what it was back then, but girls thought it was the cutest thing to knock your hat off your head. I don't know. Did you guys experience that?
I remember that first.
But it wasn't a thing. But yeah, I can see that.
Do not take my $50, $60. I'm 15. You know how long it took me to get my
It's my prized possession.
And it's all white, but they like to knock it off. And so it was a primarily Caucasian school. So we go up there and we're doing these and we're dancing. There was a private school and we're doing all these dances. And the guys don't like it. We're getting all this attention because we're like the only black guys there besides the basketball team, which didn't like that we were there because I guess we were on their turf. But it was this girl that I was dancing and she just knocks my head off my head. And
like flirtatiously?
And then runs behind the guy she with. And I thought it was him. I got ready. I was about to knock this kid out. Because I'm like, bro, what are you doing? First off, you got it on there tight and your neck goes straight. And I'm like, bro, you must want to, you want to die. This is what you were looking for. Yeah. And then, but I realized it was her. And then he just looking at me like a deer in the headlights. And her behind him. I was like, this is so stupid. But this is, she was like, okay, me chill. Right?
Deal with this.
Deal with it. And so it happens. I've had my lady do something similar because she was really upset with the cops and something that they just did that was really insane. But I was trying to calm her down and she's screaming at them. And I'm like, it's cool. Y'all got guns. We don't. Let's chill. But she was going off, She was mad. I mean, they just.
That shot.
If it was a man doing it, they would have just took him, body slammed him. You need to calm down. Then put him 5 feet in the ground. But it happens all the time. And if you can't lead them, if they not trusting you to lead, that's why she got out in the first place, right? Then he couldn't be decisive. You had to make the decision for him. All right. So then he couldn't be a protector at that point in time. Right. So not being able to be a leader, literally, this puts them in danger. This is why they reject men who don't have these traits because it literally puts them in danger.
Yeah. But I say to that guy's defense, right? If she would have been willing to submit, he would have had it under control. He was 1 second away from success. Yeah. If she just would have submitted, instead of thinking that she had to do all these things on her own and do all that.
That's a good point.
She didn't believe he was a leader. Oh, he can't handle this. Let me help him.
Right. I would agree. If she believed that he could take care of it, then there would have been no reason for her to get out the car.
In the car, and that's what I think a good woman is going to support. Now, if she would have seen me like barking his ass down and like really trying to take advantage of him, telling like, yeah, give me $1,000 right now, run your pockets. Like, yeah, that's when she can step up and try to defend the situation, whatever. It's y'all against the world in. But yeah, if a woman is going to submit to a man, she's going to believe in this man. She's going to you have to give the man the chance to act on these principles. Because if you keep like trying to beat him to the punch or not letting it succeed, you're not going to be happy. No, and he can't do it successfully.
And she's gonna lose respect for him. So even if she let him, you're like, hey, give me $1,000, and he did that, and when he got back in the car, she was like, nothing even happened. Why would you give him that money? And she'll be disgusted with him.
Right, exactly.
So if they do have to act because you lack these things, they're gonna be disappointed in the first place. But at the same time, society tells them that men with these traits are toxic.
You know what? This is all reminding me. This is many, many years ago, and it wasn't that popular, so you may not have seen it. I'm going back. I'm saving myself. I'm saving face from that comment I made earlier about beating her to keep her from getting beat in the street or whatever. Yeah, there was this video.
Beat him at home, not in the streets.
There was this video of this young man, right? And it's so funny because it had black people and white people on my Facebook torn, right? It was this video of this older man. He probably was like 40, 50, and this younger man, he's probably 15, 16, 18, somewhere in there. And you don't really have a whole lot of context, but if you're a nigga, you know what's going on. He is beating the old guy is beating this young man's ass, and he's saying like basically like, I told you, stay out of there, don't be fucking, I told you, and he's beating his ass, right? And all the white people are like, what's going on, this is terrible, and I'm like, no, he is saving that young man's life because he's keeping him from doing something that is probably going to get him killed, right?
Right.
And it's funny because like as a young black man that comes from a certain kind of place, you see it. Like, you don't need context. You like just based on what's going on and what you're hearing, you got it. But someone else could say that's child abuse or da-da-da-da-da-da. So it is perfectly, I wouldn't say perfectly, but at least in the black community, it is acceptable to beat a young man's ass to keep him from doing something that would put him in, more severe danger. So that's all I was saying.
Yeah,
that's all I was saying.
Look, black people, man. One thing I think we do, and it's often overlooked, I think. That I don't think people understand like the sheer amount of respect we can have for other people sometimes, and just in the way that black people communicate. That one. I got you. There are, most of us are aware of phrases and things that are fighting words, and we typically stay away from those because I believe most of us have experienced early on.
And you're not saying men, you're saying black men.
I'm saying black men in particular, and black people in particular.
Okay,
that like or have that like kind of traditional cultural stigmatism, like respect your elders and respect, because it was okay to get your ass whooped for saying something out of line. And a lot of our lives, either by an older person. Smack at, you know what I'm saying, or by just another person at school, because we just know that, you know what, you say the wrong thing to another black person, they're liable to punch you in the face.
He said this. Oh, okay, I guess it makes sense. He didn't say it.
That's grounds for getting your ass whooped. So I find that a lot of black people don't say like ridiculous things. Like I've been in like the workplace in a particular, like where they've said like some disgusting things to each other in the office room, and I'm just like, I would punch people for saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are fighting words. I wouldn't say that to somebody without expecting them to want to fight me. And so I've seen them just like, get back out there and do it the way I said to do it. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't treat anybody like that because I'll punch you in the face.
You know what? It's also, you could say, this is stereotypical, but I think it's true. The way that we see white people talk to cops, right? Like you would say, a nigga might act out, but he's not gonna say that,
right?
Because I know what comes on the other end of that.
So I'm not taking it that far.
Bold, yeah.
I say yes, stop fucking. I won't be like, shoot me now, motherfucker. Like,
hey, so we're out on the street and we're doing the interviews, right? And Eshawn has this light, and I'm like, why do you have the light on, and why are you carrying it like that? Like, you could. And he was like, nah, I ain't trying to get. I don't want nobody to think this is a gun. I'm a black man out here walking, and so that goes back to like that.
We
goes
just
back
been
to
taught to tread a little more carefully in certain situations. Absolutely, just know how to move.
All right, let's jump back into this. Is it one part left? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right. Got way off the top.
Here's another question. So, do you work full time at full time job?
Yeah. Well, I'm a full time entrepreneur.
Perfect. Let me say, if Uber was the only way that you can make money, now and in the future, would you feel financially secure? That was the only thing that you could do.
All right, am I driving Uber or am I like a stakes on? Okay. All right. So,
would you feel secure if that was it?
I mean, it depends how much. Like, if the hustle, it's the hustle and bustle. Like, if I'm Ubering every day, yeah, I'll be solid. I feel like I can make a lot, in and out. I can pick up like 12 niggas a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, 30. That sound like a lot, but I feel like I can do it.
Have you ever driven Uber before?
Nah.
It's rough. Okay. They pay 85 cents a mile. Well, they pay 85. They charge 85 cents a mile, but they take 25% of that.
I drive a truck, so I can't do that.
If Uber was your only source of income, you couldn't make money any other way, would you feel financially secure now and in the future?
If Uber was my only income, absolutely not.
Nah. But it gives a lot more freedom, though, right? You can come and go. You can start when you want. You can stop when you want. The days you want to work, you can wear what you want to wear. You can kind of live your life. It's versatile. It's different from like a traditional job where you got a lot less freedom. They care about what you're wearing. They care about what you got on your social media. They care about the company you keep at the job, away from the job, right?
They care about everything.
Tattoos, everything. They care about everything. And so they care about how you wear your hair. They care about what clothes you wear, who you associate with off the job, your social media, all those things, right? You're trading like stability, that freedom for the stability and the income, right? So would it be fair to say, like right now, like you enjoy your freedom, right? And you don't want anyone telling you, hey, do this, do that, right?
That's exactly why I'm not a 9-to-5 girl. I hate authority.
Right.
Also, why
and so, because as a grown woman, it sounds like you don't want anybody telling you what to do, right?
Precisely.
Now, so is it fair to say, in your personal life, you chosen to date more like Uber than like taking a 9-to-5 job? For example, because if you were with if you dated a man, he's going to be more like a traditional job, right?
Yeah.
He's going to care about your social media. He's going to care about what you wear when you're with him, when you're not with him. He's going to care about tattoos. He's going to care about your hair, the friends you keep. And a man is like a job. Where Uber is more, you have more freedom, right? Is it fair to say that you have chosen more to date like Uber versus having...
If I had to pick which one I've dated more, I would say I've dated the Uber driver more. I feel like I have. Well.
which one do
Let me think back on it.
Just in general, you have to be kind of on your P's and Q's for a traditional job, right? And so, would it be fair to say that most women want freedom in their relationships?
Freedom? Yes.
Okay. Now,
I don't know. Let me say this. I know women, from my experience, I've seen that women have this trait where they want freedom, but they want to have a tether to their dude. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like, all right, I want to be able to leave the house. You know what I'm saying? Do this all, but I still want
chain.
you to check on me just so I know you're thinking about me, type of deal.
Like
you
a
know what I'm
50
saying? So
chain.
I'll be
You got a lot
like,
of
okay,
women
that's
like
interesting.
that.
All right.
yeah, sometimes it conflicts.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's the trade-off. So, would it be fair to say most women today want more freedom, more independence today in the relationship than they used to? Let's say 50 years ago.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, and as a woman, do you think that you should have full autonomy over what you dress, how you dress, where you go, things like that?
It depends on the man. If he's okay with his woman dressing like that, or if he got her like that, then. But if he's the type that likes a conservative woman, he's gonna pick a conservative woman. If you want a woman, not all women are against men or heavy feminists. Not all women are like that. And some women are still trainable for the men that want to train women, but some of them are still trainable and want to have that standard. Not all women are out here on OnlyFans or just being naked for no reason.
Right.
the social media shows that, but not all women are like that.
100%. Now, would it be fair to say that that today in dating, most ladies they choose to do more like the Uber style dating, where it's less stability but more freedom, versus dating a man, which like a traditional guy is gonna he's gonna care about what you wear, care about your hair, care about tattoos. He's gonna care about who you associate with, just like a traditional job. Would it be fair to say women are like picking to be more free and independent, so kind of dating like their Uber?
I would say if you're speaking for a young woman that doesn't know what a man is, then she's gonna want a man that's free and lets her do and dress however she wants. But a woman that is that's mature and that wants husband material, your qualities are gonna be different from somebody that you're just dealing with on the side or something. If you want stability, you're gonna have to change the way you think about a dude. So maybe when I first started dating, I dated a guy for, oh, you got nice shoes, or you look good, or we only go on like regular dates. But now I'm dating a guy for, okay, what can we both bring to the table? Are we trying to build? Do you want a family soon? I want a family. What are your religious beliefs? What are mine? So the mindset changes with age. Some don't, but most of the time you can't expect, just like a young man, you can expect 22-year-old women, 22-year-old men to have the mindset of marriage, especially in this society today.
I think today, most women are choosing more like versus dealing with a guy and giving them like all this type of authority. You think most women in general dating more like Uber versus dating the traditional kind of thing?
Most women generally now, no, they still going to the traditional. But women like me is going to the Uber. Yeah. But most women are doing the traditional still.
Well, today, do you think women think that men should have authority over them?
No.
So
that's where the lines get blurred.
Well, this is the big question then. So if all of those traits that women want require the person to have authority, how can women find a good man if they're not willing to give that authority?
Yeah. Okay, that's a tricky question. I mean, I feel like as women, at the end of the day, as women, we have to recognize that men are not just placed here to take care of us. We're also supposed to take care of our men as well. So you have to be able to have a push and pull. Like both of you have to be able to be willing to take authority, but a man also has to be willing to take authority from a woman as well. You know, and a woman has to be secure with their man as much as a man needs to be secure with their woman. So at the end of the day, both need to be able to have authority, but both need to be able to take that authority. Or also, what's the word I'm looking for? Like women are considered submissive. A lot of women now are on the I'm independent, you feel me? So that's where they want a man that's secure and has all those traits, but they still want that independence, you know, they still want that. So I feel like it just has to be a compromise.
Do you think it can be both? Because, like, for example, that job, right? To have that job, the reason why it can provide that type of that stability those traditional jobs can give is because they come with all those rules, they come with all that structure.
Right.
So men are all about structure. Men want to come in and set up rules.
Yeah.
Ladies are more free spirited than men in general.
True.
So when men come in and say, hey, we want this rule, this rule, this rule, right now it's like, hey, I don't want that authority, I don't want that. So women are rejecting the 9-to-5 job, which is a man, and they're going over here to Uber, but they still want the benefits. What would you say to an Uber driver that complains that they don't get paid, that complains they don't have the stability of a 9-to-5 job? What would you tell them?
Go get one.
What would I tell them? I would just say, hey, like, work harder, because as an entrepreneur myself, I already know, like, it's going to be downs, and because you don't have that stability. You don't have authority. You're kind of making every decision on your own. I lifted and I Ubered, and it was never enough to pay my bills unless I was Ubering and lifting all day like a 9-to-5. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like I would tell an Uber driver just stay disciplined, but you also have to have multiple hustles. If you're going to be the Uber driver, you need to have something else outside of Uber. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you need to have more than one.
I think, and switching that example back to dating, I think that's why a lot of people are not as faithful as they used to be as well. because they got multiple streams of income.
Yeah, you
Multiple streams of income.
That was a good one.
Yes.
That was a good one. That was.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So couple comments. Her last comment reminded me of the young lady we were talking about, and basically you were like, "Hey, I've been Ubering for a while with these women. I'm looking to go to a 9 to 5." And this young lady was basically like, "Nah, I don't want that structure." Like that's the context that's putting that in. Question for you though. So if we're saying a 9 to 5 job is basically a woman partnering with a man and giving him full authority, right?
Right.
What does Uber actually look like? Like, what in terms of dating? Is that I'm a woman, I'm single, I'm dating multiple men, sleeping with multiple men, having multiple men look to pay my, like, what does that look?
That's
like?
That's what most of them do. That's because they can't get what they need from one man. Because you can't get everything you need from Uber. For most people, they can't.
Okay.
And but if you go to liberal places like California, where you understand the setup, you decided to live by these rules, right? But in California, they sued because they didn't have the stability and the benefits package and things like that. So
That's
when
a good point.
you go to the left, so then like, hey, you know what? I don't want to commit. I don't want this structure. I don't want any of this stuff. But I still want you to be that same guy. I want you to provide all that stuff. I wouldn't say no to it, but I want you to still provide all that stuff. So when it benefits me, but I'm not going to come to work, but I do want the paycheck.
Yeah. Can I just drive for y'all every now and then and still get health insurance and everything and get provided for?
So I know those are full time.
Lack of structure.
Yeah, I know those are
with
full time benefits, but I'm going to be working part time about an hour a week, and I'm just wondering what I qualify
I still
for.
get the full time benefits.
No, ma'am.
And then, like you said, complain about it. This Uber is Uber sucks. Uber needs to pay me way more money than they do.
Yeah, they don't have no benefits, you know.
And that's the women complain about men.
Your money goes up and down. Well, if you want a man to commit to you, you know, if you want those benefits,
It's gonna come with rules and structures.
so go get a job. People got jobs.
And in this equation, it's go actually submit to a man.
Go get a traditional job.
Go get a
or
guy
traditional
who
man.
let him lead, let him provide, let him protect, let him make decisions, and let him be disciplinary. So you can then in turn get the things that you say that you want.
What men don't want to hear is you decided to go and live your Uber dating lifestyle. Then you start complaining about how trashy jobs are. Job market's trash. It's crap. The benefits suck. The pay sucks. And there's no structure. There's no.
That's the same thing as men are trash.
Yeah, but
Okay.
right, because you're like, oh, the dating market sucks. You know, this sucks, that sucks. Well, you're dating like it's Uber when you're surprised you're not getting full-time job benefits.
You're half-assing a job and you're upset about the results that you're getting.
Well, not half-assing the job. They're not doing that job. They're Ubering. So get those benefits that you get. It's called hookup culture. It's called short-term.
Okay.
Is you're not getting that full access to his resources. All right, that's what's going on, and you haven't committed. So employers have to make a commitment to you. You're a contractor over here. You can be let go at any time. We don't. You haven't given me anything.
Yeah, there won't be any service. There won't be any unemployment benefits. No, there won't be. You just gonna get fired one day, and guess what you gotta do? You just gotta download the next app and keep going or whatever.
We don't offer insurance. You know, so oh man, I got into this accident. Something happened to me, and I need help. Damn, baby, that sucks. What are you gonna do?
Care.
That's crazy. Dang.
Too bad you weren't an employee.
Oh yeah. Well, can you help me out? No. Well, you know, you the side chick, right? The girl on like the full time chick, she get all that. You did this for her. Your ex, yeah, that's because she was full time.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, cause look, I gotta take the analogy a step deeper, cause it's a good one. You know, I love him. Cause something bad has happened. It happened with Uber too, right? One thing Uber did to get everybody to drive an Uber, they gave out like some crazy incentives, right? They were giving people like $500. I remember when I signed up for Uber. At that time, like the guy who sent me the referral got $300, and then when I like did my first 10 rides, I got $300.
Yeah,
and like somehow in like incentives, the first one I got like $800 off of just like bonus shit, like not the actual driving and stuff. So it seemed like a really cool thing. I was like, oh well, shit, yeah. It's
short-term benefits.
And everybody I signed up, I got $300. So every person that I convinced to download Uber and drive, so it was like running it up off of Uber for a little bit. And
Sounds
so
like network marketing to me.
Man, literally, they had us out recruiting niggas. And in the dating world, I think there are some times where driving Uber and like freelance dating kind of does get exciting because you can run into some interesting moments. Because every now and then I run across some really cool benefits. Like somebody will give me all the benefits for really cheap.
So then you're saying it's more exciting.
It can, yeah.
I mean, more thrilling. I can see that.
It's more people that you meet. You get more opportunities to have exciting things happen. You know, this guy can say, "Hey, you know what? They're trying to impress you. Here's a $300 date." Right. Or the guy you've been dating for 6 months, he don't take you on $300 dates all the time. But this dude, he don't look as good, but he talking about, I've never been to that restaurant before. I want that sign-on bonus. Hold up. And so they go short term, and then all that stuff wears out, and they're like, damn. And then they come to get a job, right? And they've been doing this for 10 years. And the job's like, oh, okay, here you go, your resume. Oh, you look great. That's awesome. You dress properly. I'm looking at your resume. Years? Yeah, that was even for the last 10 years. Looking at your resume, and I'm seeing some holes in here. I mean, so what did you learn while you were driving? Did you pick up any new skills? So you didn't nothing to do this job, you say. That's interesting. Okay.
Just been in the streets. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, everything looks good, but it's just you just don't have the experience for what you're looking for. We're not up for training right now. So we're looking for someone more experienced but thanks for coming in. And that's what they get.
So let me ask another question then. What does the wall look like in that
you know, I don't even it's like I don't even like the term the wall, right? I think it's more like friction, all right? What I see it is like, imagine, okay, women, they're born with value, right? They born stallions. They run it out. They're attractive. They can run free. They can go as fast as they want to. They can live the fast life, like running, chopping, living life, doing it. Okay, it's not a wall they hit it. Yeah, it's not a wall that they hit. It's more like the resistance goes up, all right?
So they're going uphill.
So yeah, it's like imagine running towards a giant turbine, right? And then at 24 is the first time they actually feel that bad boy come on. They get out of school, they're in the workplace. They are no longer, since they can remember, they were in places surrounded by men who adored them. Now they go to work and come home, and the only place they can really get is they go to the club on the weekend. So the first hit is 24 years old. The friction, it gets more difficult after college. Boom. Okay, if you 22, then it's going to get more difficult at that time to actually get an actual relationship. This is why the late 20s, they've been single since their early 20s. Because, oh boy, you was dating for 3 years in your early 20s, that was your husband. You messed up. It just got more difficult after 24. Then you hit late 20s when they get closer to 30. When they hit about 27.5, 28, turbine goes up again. At 30, turbine goes up again. At 35, they barely can go forward. You just imagine they leaning forward trying to push to get to their goal.
You can tell he's put a lot of effort into this analogy.
Because I'm like imagining it. I'm just like watching this woman like walk up a hill, her clothes and
the
shit like blown.
Yeah. So lady, but that's the deal. So I don't like the wall because it gets increasingly more difficult. They just don't hit the wall, but the more beautiful that they are, the power on the turbine only goes up just a bit more, but every woman 24 is going to get more difficult. When you get out of school, it just got that much more difficult.
Yeah.
And then getting close to 30, men hear your age. Most women are more looking that part as well. Yeah. And it's harder to get a man to commit. And I'll say this one, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it sounds like from what I'm hearing that women overall don't want to get married. They're just having a hard time saying that now. Like that girl who we were just listening to.
Which one?
The one who was like she's been like with more Uber drivers. She was like a Uber, supporter. And
well, she was in the women though. So she was she's an outlier.
Let me throw this in there real quick because I know I've always wondered this and I finally figured it out. So she used to date men, but she didn't like the way that men came off because they were a bit too controlling. You ever met a woman or seen them online who's a lesbian, but they got 3 kids? And they didn't have the money to pay.
Hold up now.
And you're like, what?
Some dick in there somewhere.
Yeah, you're like, wait, how does this work? What's going on? This doesn't make any sense. She was a lesbian 2 years ago, but she got a guy up here. The problem is they reject male nature. So they want all those things from a man, but they don't understand they don't understand the implications of having that, right? So the implication of having a leader is you got to follow. The implication of having someone that's decisive is they're going to make decisions and you got to go with them. The implication of having a protector is he's going to tell you no to protect you. The for being a provider, he's going to say, hey, I'm providing for you. I'm responsible for you. I'm investing in you. So I'm going to have a say in you. And then he also having somebody that's on his stuff, he going to want you on your stuff. He's going to be a disciplinarian. So they want all those things. They're just not. They were never taught that there are implications to them, just all the benefits.
Ray Dalio calls them second level consequences, right? It's like the first level consequence of me going to the gym is my muscles are sore, but the second level consequence is I feel great the next day, right? So it's like I want the man, but the second thing is, oh, well, now I have to go along. I have to get on this program, right?
That's right.
I have to follow. Yeah.
And so, but that's the big thing. So, but that's why a lot of women will switch and they're like, "Oh, I'm a lesbian now," because they can't understand that men are different. They're like, you know what? Women don't try to control me like that. They don't try to set up all these rules for no reason. But the interesting thing about she said, because she talks to ladies now, she used to talk to guys. What does she want? She said that the thing that she wanted was to find someone that she didn't have to be the sole provider for, because she's very masculine. And these women ain't trying to provide for her. And so they just keep taking
There's no one out there for her then.
Well, there is because she's attracted to men. She's not a lesbian. A lot of ladies, they will say, hey, I'm a lesbian because men piss me off. Yeah. But that's not what a lesbian is. That just means you're only attracted to women. If you're attracted to men, but you just don't want to be with them because you think they're dicks, that you're not a lesbian. You're still bisexual. Yeah. Definitions have meanings. Words have meanings. They have a definition. So the reason she rejects men is because they were just too controlling. That's why. What did she say? The guys who I know most women, they want that traditional man like a job, but the girls like me, we're going over here towards the Uber guy. But what do they get when they get with that Uber guy? Absolutely nothing they want except frustration. Bro, you can't make no decisions. You're not leading me nowhere. God, you just indecisive. About us. Where are we gonna go? We gonna be together. We gonna move in.
You can't protect me because you ain't got no money. You can't provide. Well, you can't
provide. They can't get anything that you want, and so now. They just I just got to give up on men.
Yeah. So I think there's a class of women who you want those things because I think they biologically make her feel good when she experiences them, but they genuinely don't like men. I think there's a strong, especially like on like the far feminist side of a group of women who aren't actually attracted to, or I'm not going to say attracted to. They're attracted to the quality. They like it when they see it, right? They can identify what they like, but they just got some kind of resentment against letting a man exist, right? Because on the same side, on the far side of the spectrum of the men, I think there's a group of men who don't
like vagina, but don't like women,
right? But don't like women. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, right?
Yeah. Or guys who don't.
I like the benefits, but I don't like the implications.
Right? And so the people who don't understand the give and get process, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I think like. With women, it's like I think it's a sex segment that's been growing, right? Particularly because of like, just growing independence or whatever, and the ability to now you can live a wealthy life without a man, right? You can be. There's this phenomenon of this new single woman, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and so it's kind of lumped them into this track of. Well, I like it the old way, but I'm living the new way. So I got freedom, but I also don't want to exchange that freedom in exchange for some safety or some of these other qualities I think will help me out. So it's like,
I can have it all.
Nobody wants to make the trade anymore.
I can have it all. I can have everything, which is impossible.
So they turn that turbine.
You can't have light when you have darkness. You can't have them at the same time.
Right.
And so that's the problem with them. So the issue, the core issue, is that women are taught that there's only one nature, and that's female nature, and that male nature doesn't exist. You're just a dick.
Right.
And so I think the worst thing that ever happened in the world for women is the idea of cheating, because back in the day they'd be like, I'm going to the warehouse. You're like, oh God, it's every time, right? But because it's literally male nature. But now women say, oh, it's cheating. And so they leave their husbands, they destroy their children, they destroy their household,
their home.
and then they go and live in abject poverty for the rest of their lives.
That's
I
true.
know there are, and that's just how it goes. And it makes no sense for the outcomes. But why do you need to go do that? Why do you want to be with more than one person when I don't? Because if I love and respect someone and I latch on, why? They can't understand it. So it just must be, you're an asshole.
You're an asshole. You don't respect me. Yeah,
you don't respect women.
Yeah, misogynist. Yeah,
If you don't have female nature, the software installed, and they don't know that men are literally different, that we see the world differently.
Yeah, that's the thing. We are literally wired different. We will process the same information differently.
And I would agree. A lot of them just don't know that.
They don't know. If you look at a CAT scan and you show men and women pictures by looking at the images of the brain, you can the scientists will be able to tell if this is a man or a woman by the way the brain is responding. There are male brains and female brains. They have no idea that we have like a different nature. And I'll get it real like just basic. I'm like, listen, you don't have to teach any woman when you get turned on by somebody, you want to open your legs, but I don't do that when I get turned on.
Wait, say it again.
If a lady is turned on by you, and she wants you, she's gonna instinctively open up to you, right? We don't do that. Like physically, we don't do that.
Okay.
Why? Right. Like it's not in our instinct because our body's not built that way. That's just not who we are. We don't do that. You're not like, oh man, I'm really attracted to this person. It's not, right?
Oh, you mean literally?
Literally, yeah.
Oh, you're saying
not
I'm
metaphorically.
sitting. Okay.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
Like,
I had no clue.
Yeah, so
okay.
It's just,
Well, thank you.
So let's go ahead. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Also,
Speaking of, good
I'm gonna be
segue.
checking when I go to bars now. Okay.
Oh, you open?
Yeah, all right.
Someone
when men are you're around a woman that you're attracted to, you're gonna straighten up. You're gonna make sure your chest is as wide as possible. Your neck is gonna be absolutely straight. If a woman is into you,
you're gonna pick up the chick.
She gonna exactly.
Start all doing all types of manly shit.
Here, let me provide real quick.
Here's a sample.
Here's some food. Yeah.
You know what women do whenever they're attracted? They're gonna present their face, so they pull their hair back, and they will turn to the side and show their necks. You know what that is? You know, in the animal kingdom, if you want to show submission, you will roll over and show your belly. You'll show your weak side. You will show your neck. Here, you can kill me. I'm not fun to fight you. And that's how animals submit to each other. The instincts is still within us. So women who are attracted to you show that they're going to submit to you. That's why the girls, they'll put their face forward. Look at this. I know this is why you're here instinctually. And then they turn their necks to show submission. And then it turns you on. Why? This is instinct. This is just how it works.
Hey, okay. You're giving them too much game. Next episode. Okay. All right. So this has been another episode of the Guys Podcast. See you guys next time. Follow, subscribe, like that, share that like button, all of that shit there. All right. Next time.
Next time.
Let's get back on these tips. Yes, you was breaking down.